Good day everybody, my name is Awesomecrunch and welcome to 5 more things that never made it into Subnautica v1. This video will contain things that have been worked on or at least shown as a 3D concept at some point throughout Subnautica's development. First episode did really well on the support and it was amazing, so if you do go on to enjoy the video, please give it a like. It helps me out a lot and it shows me that you want more. So let's get into it. Starting off at number 5 is the current generator. This was a deployable device that used to be craftable in the fabricator but has since been scrapped and is no longer spawnable in the game. This footage is from a build released in April 2015. When released into the water, the current generator floats where it is deployed completely still. It has a big button on its rear and an emitter on the front. When you press the button, it changed from red to green and a column-shaped current was created from the emitter. The current created could push small and large objects alike, including the lifepod and reef backs. It took no power and could be left on indefinitely, remaining in the position it was placed. It could be used for various things like capturing small prey, although because you couldn't angle the current that was slightly difficult. The main thing it was used for by players was that it could act as a defense for your base and the player himself. As shown here, you could position loads of them around your base which could help to push away any incoming predators. There are no current plans to re-implement the current generator and it will almost definitely never appear in the game again as it has been scrapped. Next up at number 4 is the Transfuser. This tool has been around for a long time and was even around back in early 2015, yet it has never been officially implemented. It's still spawnable now with the command item transfuser and it still works, but not as fully intended. As shown in this Trello card, it has been constantly pushed back throughout the development, from originally being planned in the creature's attack update in April 2016 and being moved all the way to its own update titled Transfuser, in which it was then further pushed back into the unknown. It is now displayed on Trello as being in the list for expansion pack, maybe, and future, suggesting that the transfuser is still being decided on even now. The description for it in-game now is "Congrats translators, we made a game," showing that it's not ready just yet for implementation. The idea behind the transfuser is that you could extract lifeform DNA and then either inject it into yourself, something that has never worked, or inject it into another lifeform to give it the quality of the other lifeform. For example, peepers give you speed, lava lizards and stalkers give you sonar, and rabbit rays give you friendliness. You can see where the devs were going with this. Being able to inject yourself with the sonar ability would be, while weird, pretty cool. Although, unfortunately, it never made the cut for v1, and while I'm sure the developers would like to see it implemented, they would first need to find a reason for creating one. This is where the next thing comes in. Coming in at number 3 is the Centrifuge. Again, this is listed in a Trello card under expansion pack, maybe, and future, suggesting that it's something that developers would like to implement. Judging from its mechanics, if it was to be implemented, the transfuser would also be implemented as they work together. As this early development video shows, the player extracts DNA from a lifeform and places it inside the centrifuge. It then closes up and spins quickly and opens up to allow the player to remove the serum that it has created. As you can see, this has created a reefback serum, but it's unknown what you could do with serums or how they would work. It's got a nice model, and it can actually be spawned in the game with the command spawn centrifuge, but it's completely static. You can't interact with it, and you can phase right through it. The fact that the animations, models, and sounds were completed for it suggests to me that they are waiting for the transfuser to be completed before they implement it alongside it. I really like the centrifuge. I'd really like the centrifuge and transfuser to be a feature in the future. Tell me what you think about it in the comments below. Number 2 is the Terraformer. This tool has existed in the game for a very, very long time. When it was first implemented, it used the green version of the flashlight model, and it had the ability to remove and create terrain. However, the developers later decided that terraforming was probably not going to stay in the game, as they thought that removing the ability to terraform would improve overall performance, as it would mean the terrain could be static. This was however decided after the developers created a very awesome looking model for the Terraformer along with some really nice animations. I think it would be a shame not to use this model for something, and the developers have said themselves that the model is too cool not to be used. Whatever the model is used for, I'm sure it will be good. While the Terraformer can no longer be crafted in the fabricator, you can spawn it in yourself with the command item Terraformer. It still works as it used to. However, the icon is missing and the description is simply "Rest in peace, Terraformer." If they do go ahead with removing the ability to terraform the terrain, the Terraformer will not be implemented how it is currently supposed to work. Finally, at number 1 is the Spike Trap. This is described as a large, aggressive flora species. It consists of a huge, cross-shaped base with a huge jaw at the centre, with a smaller mouth containing sharp, rectangular teeth. On each corner of the Spike Trap's mouth protrudes a total of 6 feelers extending upwards. At the end of each feeler is a suction pad that emits a bioluminescent glow. There are plenty of screenshots of this thing showing that at one point it was implemented to the point where it could be spawned into the game. It originally started off as a concept art to the tiger plant, another hazardous flora species that actually did make it into the game before v1. It's assumed that as the player or another prey swam over to the feelers, it would be trapped by them and gradually drawn towards its mouth where it can feast on your flesh. Sadly, this thing never made it into the game. However, a developer did comment back in April 2016 that they have had it modelled and animated, but that the programming still needed doing for it. He said that at the time they planned to get it into the game at some point, but this position may have changed since 2016. Personally, I'd like to see this implemented at some point, however I can understand that it's not at the top of their priorities right now. Tell me which biomes or biome you'd like to see the spike trap be implemented in if it were ever to be implemented. So there you go guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to leave a like. If you agreed or disagreed with anything I said in the video, tell me your opinion in the comments below. But I'm going to leave it here, so if you did enjoy the video, please give it a like. If you're feeling really generous, subscribe to become a crunchy today. But until next one, I'll see you guys in the next one. Drama friends.